What's up, guys? It is Thursday, August 25th. It's 12:37 p.m. and this is going to be a newsletter. So let's dive in right away. We got about 100,000 people on Earth own more than 10,000 XRP. So this is going to be insane. Let's look at this.
By two, because you guys all know when we do the math on this, we get a total of 207,000 XRP accounts. Okay, when we add up all the numbers on the far left corner. And we're going to divide that by two because you guys all know there are multiple, well, everybody has at least two different accounts. Myself have more than six. So I would account for anybody that has one, for example. I would account for actually an additional, three people. So right then and there, we get a number of 103,600 people own more than 10K XRP on this planet. And that is still a very conservative number, meaning that number is only going to be lower actually. So less than 100,000 people on this planet own more than 10,000 XRP.
So with that being said, if you own more than 10,000 XRP, like you are a part of the 0.001% of people that are invested in XRP, let alone crypto markets alone. Like even 10,000 may not seem like a lot to you on 100,000. You want to keep going up on the amount of XRP that you have, but in realistically, like having 10,000 XRP and only less than 0.001% of the people in the world having that, and then knowing that XRP is lined up to become this global digital reserve currency for institutions to use in cross-border payments, it's like the perfect storm. We're going to be in the new 0.001% of people on Earth with, funds like this. Like crypto is going to be the new money, and we're lined up to profit well from that. So let's keep going. So it all begins in London. Discover real value. So Swell Global. Every year Ripple has their annual conference, and it's called Swell. And this year it's November 16th to the 17th. It's virtual / in London. Swell Global is Ripple's annual flagship event that brings together the world's most influential voices across crypto, blockchain, payments, financial services, and economic policy. So usually there's always a run-up 3 weeks before Swell. So we could say that around the end of October, we're going to see some really big price movements for XRP, especially because this is now a global Swell conference. Before it would be like North America Swell or like Singapore Swell. Now they're saying that it seems like they're ready to go global, and we're seeing all the news come out about XRP and how many new partnerships they're having. So they are in fact going global. And past speakers at their Swell conferences, we had Federal Reserve chairmen like Ben Bernanke. We had Bill Clinton speak at one of the Ripple Swell conferences. We had the guy that started like the internet, the World Wide Web. He spoke at the conference. So like this is going to be a big deal, and I'm sure there's going to be a huge announcement that comes out during this conference. Then we have great video from Binance Academy on XRP Ledger. Key points: XRPL is the first major blockchain that is certifiably carbon neutral, which is super important if we're talking about green finance. Use cases: payments, tokenization, and DeFi. Been functioning since 2012, fully decentralized, no single point of failure. So let's watch this.
On the XRP. The XRPL is stable, scalable, fast, and energy efficient. It has continuously confirmed transactions since its deployment in 2012, while supporting more than 1,500 transactions per second and transaction speeds of 3 to 5 seconds. Transactions are cheap. The average transaction cost on the XRPL is less than a fraction of a penny. The XRPL is friendly to our planet. It is the first major blockchain to be certifiably carbon neutral. The network uses a federated consensus protocol to confirm transactions in which designated independent servers, known as validators, must come to an agreement on the order and outcome of XRP transactions. All verified transactions are processed without a single point of failure, as no single participant can decide which transactions take priority. The cryptocurrency native to the XRP ledger is XRP, a neutral bridge asset that is optimized for payments anywhere. With billions of XRP traded daily, XRP functions as a medium of exchange to facilitate cross-border payments quickly, cheaply, and sustainably. It can also be used to transact on XRP Ledger's decentralized exchange, DEX, or engage with tokenized assets. The main applications of the XRP Ledger are payments. Using the XRP ledger, assets can be moved across the world, enabling near-instant money transfers for remittances, treasury payments, payrolls, and other cross-border payments. Tokenization. The XRP ledger supports the tokenization of any asset, from fungible tokens, stablecoins, NFTs, and central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. As of May 2022, more than 5,400 currencies have been issued and traded on the XRPL. DeFi. Financial products and services can be accessed via XRP Ledger's DEX. The DEX is native to the protocol and uses a central limit order book model to trade digital assets. Users can access the DEX through a variety of order book interfaces to trade directly on the XRP Ledger. Thanks to its global developer community, the XRP Ledger's open-source platform is suitable for C++, Java, JavaScript, and Python developers seeking an environment to build new projects or use cases. The XRP Ledger offers great flexibility for developers to create use cases across tokenization, settlement.
So it's so huge what they're doing, their product and service utilizing XRP for cross-border payments. So I actually want to jump into this next video because it gives you such a good visualization of what Ripple's really doing. So let's get into that. Here we go. All right, so let's dive into this video on here. It's a new kind of report from Ripple: secure blockchain innovation for a sustainable economy, central bank digital currency, manage the full CBDC life cycle. Ripple offers a complete platform for minting, managing, transacting, and destroying CBDCs. Each solution is built on a private ledger that is based upon XRP ledger technology, a proven blockchain that has transacted over 70 million times over the course of 10 years and is trusted by financial institutions around the world. So let's hear this.
Today's global financial system is more complex than ever before. Yet as the world's economies grow, the infrastructure they rely on needs to evolve. Every nation has its own independent monetary policy and regulatory standards. But with varying system access and legacy technology, the world's financial infrastructure can seem overwhelming. At Ripple, we enable governments and central banks around the world to create new, high-performance financial infrastructures built on blockchain technology. More specifically, we help governments build and launch central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. They are national currencies powered by modern technology that is secure, centralized, and scalable. And these CBDCs will enable central banks to implement their monetary policies in more efficient and effective ways. The Ripple team brings a wealth of expertise to every new CBDC solution, working with hundreds of financial institutions, policymakers, and regulators. Our solutions facilitate billions of dollars in cross-border payments around the globe. Ripple's CBDC solution is based upon one of the most reliable, sustainable, and open-source blockchain protocols, the XRP Ledger, XRPL. The XRP Ledger technology is perfect for CBDC blockchain applications. It's fast, with transactions complete in 2 to 3 seconds. It's easily customizable and programmable. It's reliable, having closed over 72 million ledgers since 2012. The ledger's native functionality for issuing digital currencies also reduces the need for bespoke programming and reduces risk. Finally, the technology is sustainable as one of the first carbon-neutral blockchains. Each pilot is completely customizable and shaped to the needs of the central bank by an expert team. Here's how it works. Each nation's CBDC is hosted on a private version of the XRP ledger. Access by participants is granted by the administrator and fully secure. Using Ripple's CBDC solution, the central bank has full control over supply, allowing them to increase supply or redeem it. And through a standard API and multiple SDKs, integration into existing systems is simplified and suitable for traditional and non-traditional participants. Additionally, the central bank can issue other assets and allow participants like commercial banks to do so. The central bank can also authorize who holds the currency on the ledger, whether that's held directly by consumers or through commercial banks. Transactions typically settle in seconds compared to days, making CBDCs suitable for use cases like retail point of sale. This can open the door for real-time salary payments and collection of tax at at point of sale, which gets funds to an institution or a consumer faster while eliminating debt risks. CBDC data is fully controlled and auditable by a central bank, allowing for its analysis in support of monetary policy. And the data maintains transaction privacy while still allowing for regulators to monitor for criminal activities. Finally, a Ripple-designed CBDC can provide a means to bridge disparate currencies through XRP. Its inherent interoperability can allow for connection with other central bank ledgers for efficient cross-asset and cross-border transactions. This can be done with cross-issuance, using XRP as a bridge currency or via cross-ledger communication protocols. This reduces the risk that institutions are forced to accept when transacting across multiple networks or currencies in the current system. The creation of a CBDC provides powerful benefits for the economy and people of an adopting central bank. It's technology that places trust in digital money in the hands of a central bank that can guarantee accessibility to funds and the resulting services, as is the case with cash today. The result? An improved foundation for global financial development where businesses, commercial banks, and ultimately people can unlock new economic potential. Work with Ripple to build a custom pilot designed for your country or institution today.
So game changer. What they're doing is like on a whole nother level. They're basically turning into the Amazon of money. And why choose Ripple's CBDC platform? Stability, security, resilience, access and inclusion, interoperability and overlay services. That's what all the talk is about, interoperability. Connect to domestic payment systems, core ledgers, and other CBDCs to reach new levels of innovation through programmability support and smart contracts. Then sustainability, which is very important too. Commit to sustainable innovation by using the carbon neutral XRP ledger, which uses a unique consensus mechanism that consumes negligible energy. There we go. And there it is. You got Elysium Bank, New Leaf Bank Group, Midfield Financial Services. It's all right there. This is a cool product. So let's see about the next thing here. And then we're having more talk about Russia and everything like that. So beware the emerging alliance between Russia and Iran. So beware the emerging Tehran-Moscow alliance. Russia has begun using Iranian-made drones in the Ukraine war, and Iran has offered to share its financial networks to help Russia evade sanctions. For Russia, struggling to maintain momentum in Ukraine after 6 months of brutal conflict, the new Iranian assistance could be a game changer, the intelligence officials warn. This is not just a tactical alliance. With China and India refusing to sell weapons to Russia, Iran could become an essential pipeline for weapons and money. So things are heating up over there. And then we have This World is Not Ready for XRP. Take a listen to this. Does it make sense now? They're all working together in silence. Let's hear it.
The service would likely be offered by private actors, offering de facto interoperability at the technical and legal level. Those actors would likely be strongly regulated, and this is why the SEC is going after Ripple. Okay, you're about to get goosebumps all over you when you guys listen to what Jerome Powell says in a moment, okay? Those actors would likely be strongly regulated as crypto asset service providers and as financial institutions.
The potentially fast and wide adoption of a global stablecoin, potentially a global currency governed only by the incentives of a private company, is something that will deserve and will receive the highest level of regulatory expectations.
There we go. So global stablecoin. And then we this was June 8th from the DTCC. DTCC unveils technology resilience principles to help industry further protect against risks of digital innovation, talking about the power technology resilience framework for the industry. And it's saying that, so operating through adversity, it's talking about some pretty insane events. So like Black Swan events, terrorist attacks, Northeast blackout, credit crisis, technology glitch, and Superstorm Sandy, market volatility. So a resilience first mindset, it's like they're prepping for a big kind of event to shock the financial system. And I think it's going to be that Russia thing with the Moscow World Standard. And then let's keep going. So Ripple announces partnership with FOMOPay. FOMOPay will use the company's ODL services, so on-demand liquidity, XRP, for crypto-enabled treasury management. Tranglo, SBI Remit, and people are already using Ripple's ODL services. Huge Japanese payment providers. And then we got, well, what's this? The countdown is on for implementation on December 5th, 2022. Looks like things are happening fast on all fronts, and that is true. Things are speeding up and accelerating. So the countdown's on, scheduled for implementation on December 5th, 2022. This is so important. Phase 1 of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission's rewrite of their trade reporting rules will significantly impact firms' derivatives reporting in North America. With less than 4 months ago before go live, now is the time to evaluate and test your firm's infrastructure to ensure compliance with the CFTC's revised mandates. I believe the CFTC is going to have authority over kind of the crypto markets in a sense, as well as this new way of trade reporting rules for derivatives is perfectly lined up with this, like the Basel III Accords and like the paper trading of gold and silver and commodities, along with the Russia Moscow World Standard and all that. This all ties in together. So discover how we're supporting our global trade repository service community with early access to validation simulator and user acceptance testing, plus a CFTC test pack designed by the trade reporting experts at DTCC Consulting Services and reviewed by a group of top global banks to empower you with the tools you need to verify your firm's system readiness for the new rules. Things are picking up. So as we were talking about derivatives, when people hear Ripple XRP, they only think of cross-border payments. And that's just the beginning, like when Amazon started as a bookstore. And Ripple's CEO came out saying this, word for word too. The target is derivatives, all the money. So here's like a little diagram, how XRP gets its true value, all the money. So you have XRP in the middle, or a stable coin off of XRP. And then you have CBDCs around it. And then from that, you have everything else. You have supply chains, trade, euro, Swiss franc, USD, oil, South Korean won, supply chains, UK pound, Indian rupee, gold, the Thai, that's their currency, silver, XRP asset-backed $1 with ability to provide constant flow of utility, 365, 24/7. Fiat-backed system is collapsing globally. Utility, the hoses, FX market, supply chains, small, medium enterprises, cross-border, peer-to-peer, business-to-business. Liquidity, the pool, collateral, pile of assets, gold, silver, oil assets, all the money, all the money. And then I'm gonna use this my newsletter today, but we got so much confirmation from the past, it's crazy. So this is a picture that was posted at the high-level advisory group of the IMF's interdepartmental working group on finance and technology taken at Singapore FinTech Festival. Here we got all these, people just standing there happy, they're smiling. Who are these people? We got Chief Data Officer at the Monetary Authority of Singapore. We have Chief of the Advanced Economies Multilateral Surveillance Issues Division, the IMF. We have CEO of Count, the CEO of Luxembourg House of Financial Technology. We have Chief FinTech Officer, Monetary Authority of Singapore. We have Circle, FinTech Association of Hong Kong, Global Digital Finance. Christine Lagarde, IMF. Now she's the head of the European Central Bank. Managing Director of Monetary Authority of Singapore. We have the Global Head of Securities for SWIFT. We have IMF. We have Ripple. We have Bank of Indonesia. So it seems like, and then we have IMF here. FinTech Council used to work for Ripple. Then we have Baker, McKenzie, Wong, and Liao, the Bitcoin Foundation, and then the DTCC too, the Managing Director and Chief Technology Architect, DTCC. So it seems like they came to agreement on something. They're smiling, they worked the deals out. And this was like 4 years ago. And now we're seeing everything be announced and go public today, which leads me to believe things are accelerating fast and we're very close to this liftoff moment. Then we have Flare. So Flare Improvement Proposal 1, proposal to update Flare token distribution, inflation rate, incentive pool structure. This is happening in September, so pretty soon we're going to get airdropped Flare if you held XRP back in like November of 2020. But yeah, so this is going to be a huge new token. All the exchanges are supporting it too. So I'm going to get rid of that. Then we have, please understand they will do anything to make you sell your XRP. It's November from the ECB document. Once again, who's the one that shows you the truth? So here we go. ISO 222. You got fully fledged. So different meanings of full implementation of ISO 222. From European market perspective, the market is migrating to ISO 222 fully fledged, which will allow European banks to make full use of ISO 222 enhanced elements from November 2022. So the whole industry has embarked on the ISO migration journey and implementations have commenced. The aim is to fully migrate to ISO by November 2025. End goal. So there we go. Now we got BlackRock recently pointed out a program by EnergyWeb to make Bitcoin mining sustainability efforts more transparent. This is what we've been calling since January. You can even look at this video back January 23rd, 2022, the rise of green finance. What is it? Why is it important? I'm going to go through and see if I can play anything that we had mentioned back then. Let's see. Chinese miners fleeing a regulatory crackdown also made investments in the U.S., which is now the world's largest Bitcoin miner. So mining firms plan to continue expanding their capacity over the next year. In December, Elizabeth Warren sent a letter to New York-based miner Greenidge's CEO, expressing concerns about the firm's environmental impact. This was followed by a New York Times article which relayed concerns surrounding the increased mining in the state. So these recent events in New York State have raised the alarm over crypto mining with the House Energy and Commerce Committee, a person involved in pre-hearing discussions with the Oversight and Investigation Subcommittee told The Block. So very interesting stuff out of here, and it's like it's from left field again. So this was like the talk of the town back in May when it caused the last crash in crypto. So we definitely want to pay attention to this because now these miners were kind of mostly based out of China and they moved from China. Now they're here in the US and we're the world's largest Bitcoin miner. Meanwhile, you have a US based company like Ripple providing software and solutions to speed up the way money moves across the world by partnering with banks to enhance their systems via their blockchain technology system. So it's very interesting to see that this is coming out of left field, and I'm very interested in listening to this and to stay on top of it, especially if the last time that this was mentioned, the markets took a dip. So any structured financial activity that's been created in green finance. And why is it important? So green finance is any structured financial activity that's been created to ensure a better environmental outcome. So the value of green that's to the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda to direct financial flows to support the delivery of the Sustainable Development Goals. At the core of today's globalized economy are financial markets through which banks and investors allocate capital to adherent to all blockchains. Future carbonized blockchain. So Rocky Mountain Institute backed EnergyWeb launches EW0, provides technology solution applicable to all blockchains. All right, let's stop for a sec because basically the XRP Ledger Foundation, Ripple, and EnergyWeb with the Rocky Mountain Institute tied with, the World Economic Forum and all this, tied with everything that we said back here with the United Nations and all that. So, and then now let's bring it full circle because the US Congress is talking about how the world's largest Bitcoin miner, the US is, but they were talking about how they're worried about the crypto mining that's going on and the energy intensiveness of it and how it's bad for the environment because the power of green finance, that's what we're shifting to because that's what all of these Fortune 500 companies are transitioning to through the World Economic Forum agenda and the Sustainable Development Agenda 2030 for the UN and through this fourth industrial revolution diagram. And now they're developing this solution for blockchains that decarbonize them and make them sustainable, 100% sustainable, right? See? Look at all those connections being made, but they're not telling you this though. They're not going to come out and say all this and make the connections. It's all about doing that research, doing those deep dives, putting that gear on, and you really can be ahead of the game connecting the pieces because they're never going to tell you straight outright because then everybody would know and it'd be a piece of cake. There's going to be diversions. There's going to be news and articles or FUD, which means fear, uncertainty, and doubt to throw you off. But it's all about really taking this full circle, making the connections and having it stick and drawing conclusions that you could put a probability or a number to, saying that this is most likely 88% likely going to happen this way because I drew these conclusions and I followed this timeline to that, to that, to that. And further, to be the first blockchain that is fully decarbonized, distributed ledger industry will play a key role in building a sustainable future for all. Guys, this is some heat. This is to low carbon energy. Ripple is taking the lead to ensure fintech is part of crazy. Oh, here we go. So that I showed you. Bitcoin mining stocks could rally on proof of work change. Talking about as the climate crisis worsens, the world is responding on many fronts. Governments are just part of the action we saw. Regulators, policymakers are taking crypto's carbon impact seriously. The cryptocurrency industry needs to reconsider proof of work and changing Bitcoin's code to be a more like climate friendly consensus mechanism. Now they could utilize Energy Web's carbon like EW0 solution to track the sustainability and like of these miners that are mining Bitcoin. They can then decarbonize it and then kind of prove that they're using like what's it called, green energy or recycled energy to do it. So let's keep going because I shared BlackRock in here too. So carbon calculator tool will break down the carbon emissions of spending patterns by category. But here we go. This is, I believe, BlackRock. And we knew that that's what they were going to be kind of pushing on us. And now we're getting more confirmation of it. And just sustainable everything, all aspects when you go to book one. So just another shift and transition into ESG, sustainable finance, and just sustainable everything, all aspects of life. So here we have the social impact and sustainability, sustainable finance. We have a growing number of large institutional investors today are incorporating ESG, which is environmental social governance, metrics into their capital allocation and stewardship criteria. The shift towards sustainable finance, which has evolved beyond socially responsible investing to include asset management and ownership, has profound implications. This website right now are shedding light on the financial materiality of ESG factors and how those factors. Economic Forum and the BCG, which is this website right now, are shedding light on the financial material, fundamentally reshaping his firm's. Explains how the light on the financial materiality of ESG factors and how those factors will evolve. And then you could see here that Larry Fink, who is the chairman and CEO of BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, explains how the climate crisis is fundamentally reshaping his firm's approach to investing. A tectonic shift of capital is just beginning. So the largest asset manager is now saying that the climate crisis in C19 is fundamentally reshaping his firm's approach to investing. So sustainable finance, green finance, that's why it's important. Because there we go. So calling it back 8 months ago, and now we're seeing the news coming out saying they put out a program by Energy Web to make Bitcoin mining sustainability efforts transparent. So institutions, financial companies are nervous about the ESG black eye that Bitcoin has. Energy Web CEO Jesse Morris said. The organization's crypto token is up roughly 105% over the last 2 weeks. Environmental impacts stemming from the big business of Bitcoin mining are getting a dose of transparency that's welcome to the world's largest asset manager. Energy Web, which focuses on mechanisms to decarbonize the global economy, is set to publish sustainability scores for miners in the coming months, an effort highlighted by BlackRock. BlackRock said in a statement earlier this month, it's encouraged by programs by Energy Web and others to bring transparency to sustainable energy usage and Bitcoin mining. The fund group partnered with Coinbase to offer institutional clients of its Aladdin platform access to Bitcoin earlier this month, launched a private Bitcoin trust a week later. So he told Blockworks that BlackRock stands reaffirmed institutional investors looking to dial up crypto exposures will demand greater ESG disclosures. That's why we look at sustainability impact when it comes to cryptos. Their boards are saying, show us how you're doing your part to decarbonize the global economy. Do not be investing in things that are bleaching carbon into the atmosphere. We have been in conversation with a lot of different institutional investors and also financial organizations that are trying to build products around Bitcoin, but are very nervous about the ESG black eye that the asset has. Energy Web token has seen a big boost since BlackRock shout out. And yeah, there we go. So EnergyWeb's green proofs for Bitcoin program is a way for Bitcoin miners to prove they are using renewable electricity, right there. So EnergyWeb is going to be big. Been saying it for years now. And now we got... So FedNow is a better alternative to a CBDC, Federal Reserve Governor says. Many of the challenges that FedCoin fans say that the CBDC will solve will be addressed by the upcoming FedNow payment service. FedNow will allow consumers and businesses to make payments conveniently in real time on any day with immediate availability of funds for receivers. Our assessments of these benefits have not changed even as we consider whether a CBDC might fit into the future U.S. money and payments landscape. Completing and implementing FedNow is a high priority, and we expect it to be available by mid-2023. There we go, yo. So, really, we're at the finish line here. And then Africa's first central bank e-currency is yet to have recurring users, discounted tickets available for CBDC think tank MASTERCLASS. All right, let's keep going. So, long, strange trip. So, Ripple Labs names Donald Donahue as advisor. That was June of 2015. And he was the former CEO of DTCC, brings deep financial service infrastructure technology and security expertise to Ripple Labs. Ripple Labs, global leader in distributed payments technology and supporters of the Ripple protocol, today announced that it named Donald Donahue, president and CEO of Miranda Partners and the former CEO of the DTCC, as an advisor to the company. This has stretched back so long ago that this has all been pre-planned out. This is 7 years ago. And now DTCC partnered with R3, which utilizes XRP core to settler. It's just literally the connections are crazy. Then we have TTCC and crypto. Let's hear it.
The work that we're doing at DTCC, we're looking at both private and public blockchains. And I think that's really important because, again, we want to make sure that we have that optionality within our solutions. And there are different trade-offs between the different public protocols and private protocols. So when we are looking at the public protocols, we recognize that there is an immutability that needs to be recognized. There's certain, there's certain trade-offs that we're just going to have to be aware of. When we think of the private blockchains and those protocols, obviously we have a significant degree of flexibility in terms of governance. And so the constraint of immutability is not as permanent there. And when you think of, our DTCC and our clients, we are sat in a highly regulated industry. And so we need to be really thoughtful about what it means to look at the trade-offs that the technology applies, but understand that this needs to function within the regulatory framework. And so private blockchains have been very interesting to us for that reason, for the flexibility that they provide. And within that flexibility, there are fewer trade-offs that we have to evaluate in terms of the use case.
Right. Yeah, obviously the big trade-off, what you miss out on is perhaps the reachability of a public blockchain, but that may not necessarily be the mission that you're trying to achieve.
Exactly.
DTCC is in charge of all of the stocks in the United States. They literally custody every single stock certificate that exists. DTCC is exploring public blockchains. A public blockchain is a crypto. She explains that public chains are immutable, and private permission systems allow more flexibility, or in other words, they can reverse transactions. The IOU system on the XRP ledger allows freezing, reversing of transactions, etc. And to be clear, it's only IOUs that you can freeze.
There we go. Then we got U.S. startup R3 banks test Ripple's cross-border payments technology. That was October 20, 2016. 6 years. U.S.-based financial innovation startup R3, along with 12 global banks, have completed the test of a cross-border payment system powered by blockchain technology and developed by fintech company Ripple. Come on. At this point, it's really like, do I need to show more? Ripple, U.S. provider of blockchain-based banking payment technology, said in a statement on Thursday that R3 and 12 of its member banks use Ripple's XRP currency in a cross-border transaction to enhance liquidity in real time, creating savings as much as 60% of liquidity costs in cross-border payments. Come on. Give me a break. There we go. That's confirmation right there. XTC Lloyds Bank completes UK's first digital promissory note purchase using AnyGo's Trace original for digital original documents. And this utilizes XDC, I believe I saw. Yeah. Original technology in accordance with if the specifications that they have reached a milestone. Original technology. I think ITFA is the International Trade and Forfeiting Association. What's it called? Zinfin Network is a part of that group. So let's keep going. Ripple. So Ripple's now officially on the World Economic Forum website. And, this is why we need a common standard for moving e-money. That's back in 2015 by Chris Larson, who's the president of Ripple. I'm going to pull that up there. But here's their description of Ripple. Ripple is doing for value what the internet did for information, enabling its instant and seamless flow around the world. Ripple calls this the Internet of Value. Using blockchain and cryptocurrency technology, Ripple is dedicated to creating powerful gains in financial efficiency, equity, and inclusion. In addition, Ripple is developing and enabling the future use cases that will catalyze the new digital economy for governments, businesses, and consumers. Ripple has offices in San Francisco, New York, London, Mumbai, Singapore, Sao Paulo, I can't pronounce that, Washington, D.C., and Dubai. Just like, that is just such a huge thing that they're doing. Like, this is a huge mission, and they're accomplishing it every day. So September 3rd, 2015, why we need a common standard for moving e-money. Not sure where the article is, but we'll just skip that. So now next, we got some different ways to categorize your tokens. Blockchain. Okay, so this is from R3's website. R3's website, and then you have some different ways. Wholesale, we have XRP in that. It's fungible. You have wholesale CBDCs, EIB bonds, JP Morgan coin, USDC, USDT, asset-backed NFT, regulated non-fungible real estate token, Pax Gold, the eCrona, SDX bond, Eniera, Bitcoin, Ethereum. So like XRP is in its own category here. It's gonna be huge. And R3 just showing that XRP is the one. Then we have PayPal joins the Trust Travel Rule solution. I'm not gonna dive too far into that, but let's keep going. So reminder, Tim Draper owns XRP. I wish I had asked him if it was via an option contract. I do not believe that there are only 2 option contracts for XRP.
XRP is the Ripple.
Are you an owner in Ripple or XRP or both?
Well, Ripple is XRP is the Ripple currency. Yes, I'm an owner of Ripple or XRP.
When the SEC lawsuit came out, did you sell all of your XRP?
Oh no. I'm on the whole industry. I am very optimistic.
Are you an owner in Ripple or XRP or both?
Tim Draper's a billionaire, huge, big venture capitalist as well too. R3 actually got 5 billion XRP in an options contract, and then they got into a lawsuit back in 2016. They settled though, and yeah, so like all those connections stretch so far back. Then we got Zanj. That's that carbon credit solution. In partnership with the United Nations, utilizing XRPL. It's the first exchange of its kind on a global level, delivered in partnership with the United Nations, a regulated security exchange, and is working hand in hand with the UN Development System to set up and manage the first securities exchange focused on sustainable development goals. Companies and our companies meeting certain social responsibility criteria and will act in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2030 roadmap. Unlimited scalability. Carbon emission blockchain. Blockchain will bring transparency to carbon accounting by avoiding double counting of emission reductions or removals. And we see that explore our services, green bonds, green funds, SDG projects, carbon credits. And I had showed you that they're utilizing XRPL for this. So I'll show you right here. Zanj, XRPL, tied up with the United Nations. What could get better than that? Zanj.com will develop a carbon credit solution on the XRP ledger, and Zanj is technically creating a global sustainable securities exchange on the XRP ledger. Absolutely huge, all the money. And then we got tokenizing carbon credits on the XRP ledger helps solve manual processing. XRPL is chosen because of its enterprise grade functionality, trading friendliness, carbon neutrality, and ease of use in building smart contract applications. Let's hear it.
We try to create transparency and an open model and open price discovery on an open exchange. So, and currently it's done highly manually, inefficient, and trading and settlement process with a lot of risk and double spending risk involved. So how are we trying to solve this? So first of all, you need to have standardization in the market. So that's essential. So with IWA, we're pleased to really contribute there to look and implement token taxonomy framework, create like transparency, create a template that we as an industry would like to comply with. Blockchain, we use the XRP ledger because of enterprise-grade functionality. It's trading friendly and it's carbon neutral. And smart contracts, why smart contracts? Because it's much faster to develop and it's multi-party application that and it's seamless collaboration internally and across companies. So that's why we use smart contracts. We have successfully minted a token on the XRP ledger according to the token taxonomy framework, and we have provided feedback about the XRP ledger on GitHub. It all will be open source, publicly available. We're here to solve and help. We have deployed the carbon credit solution to demo environmental access to pilot customers. So we're definitely engaging and partnering with VVBs and other stakeholders because it's a complex mechanism that we're trying to build here. We are ready to onboard pilot customers for further enhancement of the carbon credits.
Huge, absolutely huge. And then did you say treasury use cases? Let's hear it.
The other point I would make is when we look at cross-border payments, which is really how Ripple started, we had a big focus initially on remittances and looking at providing low-cost remittances. Mostly, the traction we got was with non-banks, so other financial institutions, so payment providers, PSPs, money service companies, whatever label you want to put on them. But we have seen increasingly through this on-demand liquidity capability, we've seen an increase in treasury use cases as well. So companies wanting to move money around different countries, through their banks or directly through a payment provider. So the use cases, to Chad's point, I mean, I think they can all be addressed by modernizing the infrastructure. And I do think that as CBDCs come on stream a bit more, and we'll talk about that more later, I hope, the role of the public sector, I think, on the design and implementation is probably going to grow.
Huge. All right, so then we got gold. Let's hear it. So this is Jed McCaleb. He was one of the original founders of Ripple, and then he started Stellar. So let's hear.
There is this concept inside Stellar of a token, right? And that token was meant to represent fiat currencies for the most part. I mean, we thought maybe people would use it for gold and other things, Stellar. But if you're doing something that's very simple, where it's like a loyalty point or like, an ounce of gold or what have you, like that's better done on Stellar because it's just designed for that, right? So
there we go. Like Stellar and XRP, like you can issue like commodities on it. And what are all, Russia and the BRICS countries trying to do? It's right there. And then Tether won't freeze sanctioned Tornado Cash addresses without authorities' request. Stablecoin issuer calls a move by USDC to blacklist Tornado Cash smart contracts premature. Yeah, I would stay away from Tether, that's for sure. Then you got the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe says it's moving ahead with plans to create Zimbabwe's own central bank digital currency on a phased approach. Let's see when this is happening. So it's saying that it will happen, that's October 2021. So they can also facilitate cross-border transfers, and payments could make sending remittances easier, faster, and cheaper by shortening payment chains and creating more competition among service providers. Let's see. There's no timeline, but in the Southern African region, the South African Reserve Bank is experimenting with a wholesale CBDC, which can only be used by financial institutions for interbank transfers. It's got to be XRP. That's what it's designed to do. Then we have Moscow Exchange to ban use of dollars as collateral from August 29th. This is going to be huge. This all plays into what I think is about to go down as far as like all my theories the past couple of videos. The dollar is the value of it's gonna crumble Like, I think these things that are happening over the next couple months will be the catalyst to do that. Moscow Exchange will ban the use of dollars as collateral to underwrite transactions, it said on Monday, as Russia seeks to cut dependence on currencies of nations that have imposed sanctions on it. Statement posted on the exchange's website said the new policy would come into effect on August 29th. It gave no details, and it said it would limit the use of dollars as collateral to 25% from 50% that was earlier this month, but now it's saying that it can't be used at all. So the United States and its allies have imposed several rounds of sanctions, including those targeting the country's largest lenders and Putin since Russian forces invaded Ukraine. Then what could happen to the Ether price following the merge? It's going to induce a period of high volatility in the crypto markets, with some anticipating a move to the downside. So this is going to happen in September. So a lot of volatility is going to happen over the next couple weeks and months ahead. We have the September 15th merge. It's looking to happen around that time. So it's time to get ready because things are about to go down. And then we got Zanj. We showed you that. And then we showed that. And then we have Biden, okay, sweeping student loan relief as midterms near. So, and we even have midterms coming up. So they're wiping like $10,000 to $20,000 in student debt for everybody. And that's just going to contribute to the dollar value of it eroding, because like the more debt relief you give, the more money you print, the true real value of the dollar. And we're seeing it, everything's going up in price, but the dollar is going up on the chart because compared to other currencies, the dollar is getting stronger. There's going to be a point where this is all going to flip and go the opposite way, and I think over the coming months we're going to see that pan out. And then this Friday, morning bid, cautious undertone waiting for Jackson Hole. So the Federal Reserve is speaking at Jackson Hole. I think that's like their annual conference. This is happening this Friday. So there's going to be some big moves that are happening in the meantime before that. That's tomorrow. So we're going to have to see what pans out there, but I'm sure there's going to be some gold nuggets that come from it. So that's it for this newsletter today. I'll see you guys in the Discord.